Top 10 reasons to become a plumber in 2020. I talk about becoming a plumber quite often. The reason why? It's a great opportunity. So in this video, I'm going to actually give you my top 10 reasons. And if you'll hang around to the end, I'm going to give you my favorite thing about being a plumber, especially compared to being an electrician. Number one, plumbers make great money. I know that sounds funny because you really wouldn't think so, but think about it this way. Right now, here in the Dallas area, you can get into plumbing at about $17 an hour. Now, $17 for somebody coming right out of high school with no experience, getting into a trade that is going to lead to an amazing career is fantastic. And at that $17 an hour entry point, when that same person gets out about 5 years from now, they're going to be making close to $80,000 a year. Now, it's at 17 now because that's a percentage of the journeyman scale. But that journeyman scale is going to get raises over the next 5 years while that apprentice is going to school. That apprentice is also going to get raises along the way. Now, even if you're not going through a Department of Labor training program or anything like that, if you go to work for a plumbing company as a helper, you should get paid well. And I use that. Look, if you can get a job for $17 an hour over here, why can't you get one for $17 an hour over here? So getting into the trade, whether you're coming in as an apprentice, as a helper, whatever you want to call it, coming in and getting raises over the next 4 or 5 years is going to help you. You're going to make money while you're going. The national median income for salaries is $36,200 a year. That goes up to $50,620 for plumbers, pipe fitters, and steam fitters. Now, guys, pipe fitting and steam fitting, that has a lot to do with plumbing, or plumbing has a lot to do with it. But just being a plumber, and I know I say it like that, but that's going to give you some more opportunities than maybe the pipe fitters and steam fitters have. Number two, you can go through a paid apprenticeship program. And either a paid apprenticeship program or just learning on the job with a plumbing company, either way is going to be great. So you're going to get paid while you learn. And the good thing about it is the day you start gaining experience immediately. I mean, think about it. After you've done it for a week, hopefully you've learned enough things during that week that you can actually help with the next week. Here's what I tell people all the time. Make sure you take time to learn. If that plumber you're working with is actually teaching you, make sure you're actually learning it. Don't ask the same question twice. You've got a great opportunity here. And like I said about money, this is a paid apprentice training program starting out at about $32,000 a year. This is, man, what a way to learn a career. There's a severe shortage of plumbers. Now, not just plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, carpenters. The trades are short about 5 million people, meaning there's about 5 million unfilled jobs across the United States that we're looking for people to come in and fill. Those of y'all that see me and hear me, you know I could hire 2 plumbers almost any day of the week. Number 4, less people in the trades means more money for you. Now, how is that? When I need more plumbers, I don't have enough to run all the calls that I could run. So the way you eliminate a lot of that is you start raising your prices. Hey, if I'm not going to be able to run as many calls, I'm going to raise my prices because of supply and demand. Guys, I'm not the only one doing this. Think about it. If there's only a limited number of a certain product, it becomes more valuable. Guys, there's not near as many people getting into the trades as there should be. So remember, becoming a plumber right now may be one of the greatest times ever. Number 5, this is almost a recession-proof job. And I say that because if people's plumbing is stopped up, they're going to call somebody to unstop it. Now, don't get me wrong. It can still recess a little bit. It can slow down because when money gets tight, when we are in a recession, people may not spend that extra money on new toilets, new faucets, remodeling their shower, things like that. But If you're a service plumber, people are still going to need you to fix that drip, to fix that clogged up toilet, that clogged up sewer main. There's so many things out there that no matter what the economy's doing, plumbers are going to find a way to stay busy and people are still going to need them. Number 6, job opportunity and advancement. So you start out as an apprentice, and that is the only way to get in is to become an apprentice, become a helper, come into the trade and learn it. Every one of us that are in the trade had zero experience at all when we got started. Now, we may have worked on things around the house, but zero experience. So you get into the trade and you come in as an apprentice. Here in Texas, you can move up to a tradesman that actually lets you run your own truck and go out and work on single family or 2-family homes in Texas. The next license is a journeyman. As a journeyman, you can do any plumbing job in Texas that doesn't require a specialty endorsement like MedGas, water supply protection specialist, or multi-purpose residential fire protection systems. So there's your way to get in. Apprentice, tradesman, journeyman. Then, after a certain amount of time, you can get your master's license. This either lets people know you know what you're talking about, or here in Texas, if you want to open your own company, you get your RMP, your Responsible Master Plumber endorsement too, and then you can open your own company. That really just teaches you a lot of things you need to know to get started. But it doesn't end there. As a plumber, you can move up. You can become a foreman on a big commercial job, a superintendent. You can even move up to director of operations or vice president for a large company. Maybe you get tired of working in the field and you want to become a project manager. You learn how to look at prints and order things and get ahead of jobs. The opportunities here are great. But plumbing, you can also own your own business. Look at me. After 35 years in the trade, I decided to get out on my own and open my own plumbing company. Now that I've done it, I wish I'd have done this years ago. If you're one of those people that you want to work for yourself, I want you to leave a comment down below. One day I want to own my own company, and tell me why. If you already own your own company, do me a favor and also leave a comment and let me know what kind of company do you own, and are you glad you did it, and do you wish you'd have done it sooner? Number 7. Job satisfaction and social interaction. Being a plumber, especially a residential service plumber, I get to get out and see customers. I get to get out and talk to them. I get to explain to them what it is we do and why we do it. And I tell you what, when you go to a customer and you walk in and they're standing there crying because their plumbing is broken. And guys, I've seen it. They've got raw sewage coming up in their house. They don't have hot water. They've got issues that, you know what? Maybe we see all the time and we just kind of think, you know what, that's not that big a deal. But that's part of it. You get to talk to this customer and let them know, look, we can fix this problem. Everything's going to be okay. And you learn communication skills. You learn how to talk to customers. You learn how to deal with them. You learn all people aren't nice, and you got to deal with those people too. There's a lot of different things that you get to learn to do, but I'm telling you, satisfaction and that feeling you get knowing you took care of somebody, that part is amazing. One of the other great things is you're not stuck in the office all day. If you're a plumber, residential or commercial, you're out on a job. And some people say, well, I don't want to be out on the job all day. Then become a residential service plumber or become a commercial service plumber where you go from job to job to job. Again, there's so many opportunities here, but getting out, meeting people, talking to them, and helping them find resolution to the problem they have, that part's amazing. Number 8, this is a career you can be proud of. Have you ever seen the Norman Rockwell poster? It is "The plumber protects the health of the nation." And guys, there is so much truth to that. If you're not in plumbing yet, you don't understand it, but you will. By putting in plumbing right, we save people's lives. When we do our job right, the funny thing is, nothing ever happens. And what I mean is, there's never a problem. That is a neat reason, is the fact that we have the opportunity to have a career that we can be very proud of and make good money at along the way. Number 9, and don't tell a lot of people this, it's really not that hard. Guys, I was not the smartest kid in high school, but I knew the things that I needed to learn. And that's what plumbing was. I knew I needed to learn it to get better at it. It's not a hard job. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're in commercial work, you may have big 10-inch, 12-inch pipe. And that can get heavy and it can get hard to work with, especially if you're manhandling it instead of using the right tools. But as a residential plumber, whether you're service or new construction, either one, there's no big pipe. It's not that bad. You may have to, climb up on rafters or something to secure a vent. There's nothing that you can't do. The heaviest thing that I ever have to lift is a water heater and maybe a big valve, depending on how big a job I'm doing. But guys, it's not that hard of work. But the thing is, and it's funny because we were talking about that this morning in the office, learn to take care of your body. Learn to work smarter, not harder. They've got tools that I wish I'd have known about or used more when I was younger. I remember lifting big pipe up on my shoulder and carrying it, 100, 200 feet down the floor. Guys, I wish I wouldn't have done it because now I feel it every day. And even climbing a ladder with a piece of pipe on your shoulder. Guys, there's roustabouts, there's duck jacks, there's all kinds of different tools that we can use these days that really will help you take care of your body. Number 10, zero student debt. Now, what I mean by that, and you can talk to some of your friends that are thinking about going to college. If they've got to get a student loans can add up quickly. College, the cost is anywhere from about $10,000 to $200,000 a year. That's a lot of money if you don't have it. And if you're racking up that student debt, it's incurring interest along the way while you're going through school. So when you get out of school, you're gonna owe anywhere from $40,000 to $80,000. Now, there are trillions of dollars worth of debt in the United States. Don't be part of that. As an apprentice, you can actually earn, or a helper, and doing that 16 up to 72,000, whatever it was that I figured out a while ago, you can actually earn about $210,000 in 4 years. Guys, that adds up to a lot of money. And if you compare what you could earn in that 4 years to what that 4 years can cost you, think about it this way. If you get out of school in 4 years and you go get an entry-level position making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, or you've earned $210,000 over those 4 years, 5 if you're in the apprentice training program or something, but even at that rate, you've probably earned another $60,000, so now you've earned $270,000 in 5 years. But my thing is, now you've got a job making $75,000 a year. Guys, think about it. Where do you want to be? Now, those of y'all that hung around to the end, let me explain to you. The coolest reason to be a plumber and not an electrician, electricians have great names, Sparky, Zap, something crazy like that. Plumbers, chicks dig us. You know why? We lay pipe for a living. We plug holes. You think girls don't love a plumber? Let me tell you, it's a great life to have. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I've got other videos where I talk about how to get into plumbing, but this is probably the best one. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you on the next video if you don't get flushed.